One, two, three, and we are live. I love doing that because it's what Mike always does on the workshops and also on the mastermind. So, good evening, everybody. Hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. Give me a wave. Let me know where you're jumping on from this evening. There's Ivan. Ivan's in Manchester. If anybody wants to type in the chat, if I see the messages, I will respond to them. Thank you so much for jumping on this evening. It is the European Mastermind. So a big, huge, warm welcome. Hey, Di. Di is loving your tree, Ivan. We've got Nathan on. Hello. We've got Kathy from... We've got Dawn on from far across Europe this evening. So we've also got Rhoda on from Pisa, Italy. And we've got Hazel on from Barcelona and Franco from Calgary. It's going to be a really exciting evening, guys. We've got some very special guests on this evening. So first of all, before we do start, we've got clear Rod on as well. The meeting will get maxed out. We are recording this, so you are in. Also, I say at the beginning of every single European Mastermind, this is not to replace the Mastermind Essential. They are a must watch. This is just a way of bringing us together across Europe because we are growing at a speed of light now. So it's connecting us all over here together, coming together and just sharing some more tips and advice with you. But the masterminds are there for a reason. They're to be watched so that you can expand and grow your business. So everybody that's been having great results in your businesses, congratulations to you all. Absolutely fantastic. We've got some awesome guests on this evening. We have got Franco on, we've got Christina on, we've got Ivan on, and we've also got Rhoda as well. Whoa, and I'm so excited. So I just need to pass over to Di and David, and then we'll be hearing from Franco, who's all the way in Calgary this evening. So I just need to bring Di and David on. Let me find them and unmute them so they can update you with what's going on in the world down in London. Hey,
how are you doing? You good?
Fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And just before I hand over to you, let me say to everybody that we had an amazing Manchester meetup that Ivan organised, and I do believe he's organised another one for the 4th of January. We'll ask him that when we bring him on live in a bit, but I'm going to hand over to you guys so you can fill everybody in with what's been going on with you.
Fantastic.
Well, we're not going to keep you very long at all because there's some really, really good people to listen to.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're down in Surrey, down near London, near Heathrow, and yeah, and there's been quite a few meetups around here lately, which have been brilliant. We've ended up with little powerhouses of people getting together and running off to kind of mastermind together, which is lovely, and that's one of the great things about these meetups. Now, some dates for you. Saturday, this Saturday the 7th, Azra is running her London meetup. So get along to that. That's at 3 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, Waterloo.
Waterloo. Yeah. And there is a flock group for that. So just have a look in flock for that. There's also going to be a Windsor one, but I think they're going to do a bit of a mastermind, do something for the people who attended the last one. So the next general one may well be towards the end of February. Okay, for Windsor. Yeah. So that's great.
Yep.
You can just say something.
The only thing I'm going to say is, if you haven't watched the masterminds, have you got any income claims on your pages? Yeah. If you have, take them down. No income claims at all. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
That's us. That's us.
That's it. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you are based around the London area or within close proximity, get to go meet these guys, Di and David and the rest of the team. They are absolutely incredible. We've even drove across the country to meet each other, haven't we?
We did. We met in Warwick. It was brilliant.
We met in Warwick halfway. So it's really important that get-togethers are fantastic because you can share lots of experiences and tips and advice with each other. So thank you so much for coming on, superstars. Oh, I do believe we have got one person just seems to keep unmuting, even though I keep muting all. I don't know why it keeps it keeps unmuting, even though it says mute everybody. Anyway, okay, fab. I think we're muted again. If you are listening, please make sure that you are muted so that we can hear what's going on. And like I said, we've got some incredible guests on this evening. I'm going to bring on our first one, which is the one and the only Franco. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, and I can see you as well.
Finally, you know, I made it.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on this evening and
Absolutely.
taking your time out. And I know you've got a really busy schedule of coaching calls, so I won't keep you on long, but we really do appreciate you coming on this evening and sharing your
My
story
pleasure.
with everybody, your best tips and advice. So shall I just hand over to you then, Franco?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. I will mute myself and leave you to it.
I can see some familiar faces in here. Hi, Rhoda. Hi, Christina. Hazel. Graham. Yeah, I've seen lots of familiar faces in here. Yeah. Nice to see you all. But anyway, Irene, thanks for having me. I know this is probably your third invitation, and I apologize if I couldn't make it, you know, from the last time. But, you know, I couldn't turn you down, you know that. So I'm flying to Vancouver tomorrow. But anyway, for those people who don't know me, my name is Franco, and I'm from Calgary, Alberta. I started the business way back July, but I signed up to Michelle back in June, but, you know, I didn't take action right there and there. So I had to wait for another month because I was flying to San Francisco that time when I saw her ad. So when I came back, that's the time that, you know, I actually signed up and paid the $99, not $149, sorry. And since then, you know, I embraced the business, and this has been my saving grace. I used to have 3 jobs back then. So I used to work for a hotel, just like Hazel. I used to work for a bank as well, TD Bank, for those people who are from Canada. Oh no, you guys are from Europe, sorry. And I used to pick up some shifts as well from a local grocery store here in Canada. So it was really tough. I could only sleep for only 4 hours a day, and I would only have 1 day off per month. So my life for the last 3 years in Canada was just circling around that tunnel. You know, it was really hard. And when I came across this opportunity, when I got my first check, you know, after the first month, I immediately quit my 2 jobs, which is my bank job, day job, and that grocery job as well. And since then, when I saw the potential in the business, you know, in a heartbeat, I actually resigned from these jobs, and I told myself that I will be successful in the business. And for those people who were telling me it's only the top people who are earning, what I told myself was, then I would like to be there on top as well, because I want to be in their position, instead of, you know, being scared about the challenges that will come across my way. I told myself that I will be on top as well, and I will make it there because I want to experience the same kind of things that these people are experiencing. And it was really tough for me at the beginning because I could only do the business in between my breaks. I would always take advantage of the dead time that I will have, be it on the bus, you know, commuting from one workplace to another. I will be on my phone checking on inquiries and stuff. That's why whenever my downlines are making excuses that they can't do it because they don't have time, then I don't believe that, because in a day you would always have time to check on the business. And excuses is just one way of showing that you're weak. And that's what I've been telling them. And apart from that, I was going through depression back then. So it was really tough. My head was just wrapped around work. And then here I had another business that I need to focus on. Plus I had tons of debts in my credit card. So I had $17,000 debts when I started the business, even before I started, because I was part of the Fort McMurray fire. So I got displaced by the fire. So I had $17,000 in debt. Plus I had to invest on the products, plus I had to shell out as well for the ads. So it was really tough. I could see that my expenses were piling up on the credit card, but you know, I took the leap of faith. I trusted the system, and I know from day one that I will be successful in the business as well. So I started seeing results shortly after 2 months.
My love, that guy, when they make that big money, now they talk to us.
Sorry.
Bear with me a minute. I'm really sorry, Franco. I've muted everybody, but there's just one person that seems to keep, if that's you with the lots of lovely, beautiful children in the background, please can you mute yourself? Because hold on a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody, Franco, and then I'll come on and mute you again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Are you there, Franco?
Yeah, I'm back.
Fantastic. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's all right. That happens. So what I was saying is, yeah, I had tons of debts in my credit card, but still, I took the leap of faith. I trusted the system because I know I saw the potential. So I started seeing results shortly after a month because I was lucky because after I launched my first conversion advertisement, I got my first buyer in just 18 hours and she immediately converted. So yeah, and I was really lucky that that happened, and that gave me more excitement to be in the business because that only proved that the business actually worked. And when I deposited my check at the bank, even though I had the checks in my hand, I still didn't believe it because what if the check bounces back? So I had to wait until it got deposited and I was able to spend that money in my bank account. So when I finally came to a point that I managed to spend it, then that's how I believed that this is actually real. And shortly after that, I was only getting probably $200-400 during my second month, but still, that's probably equivalent to what I was getting from the bank as well. So I increased my budget. I started only with a $5 budget, and I gradually increased it as soon as I was, getting more money from the business. And to tell you honestly, what has really worked for me here is not engagement, but it's actually conversion. I really didn't have any success on engagement. People would actually engage and like my comment, but they wouldn't really, inquire about the business itself. So I was wondering what was happening in there. Then I finally tried a conversion, and that's when I started getting, more leads in the business. Even though I was only doing $5 budget, I was using $5 budget, I was getting tons of leads back then. And the strategy that has worked for me big time is this. I've shared it with others, Zoom, when Nis invited me, Nisrin, yeah, Nisrin, everybody knows Nis, yeah. So she invited me in, so I shared the secret with her, and I'm not sure whether it has worked for her team, but what I did back then is that my mindset was, back then there was only 12,000 people in Dream Team, but still the competition was very tough because most of us was from Canada. So I was thinking that the market was saturated, and I know that these people would actually use, everybody would use the same kind of interest to target certain individuals, like mom who would like to stay at home, people who are interested in the business, people who'd like to travel. So what I did was I took the road that was less traveled by. So I actually used interest that these people, probably 12,000 people, wouldn't use. Like I chose the very odd ones that was not related to the business. And that's when I started getting more leads. And that's when it came to know that, I was always the first opt-in whenever I do that. So for a budget of $5, I was getting probably 15 to 30 leads in one day. Even in Canada, because I targeted these people who haven't seen this kind of advertisements. And before I did that, what I actually did was I set my ad to worldwide. So it targets all the people in the world, but the way Facebook works is that they will actually expose your ad into the countries where it's cheaper to advertise. So I was getting not so quality leads, but my advertisement was actually getting lots of comments, lots of likes. And when I switched back to Canada, it came across stronger because people are seeing there's pile of comments. They get very intrigued about what's happening in the particular ad. And since when I switched it to Canada, I would remember there were 3 days where I wouldn't get any leads, but I actually waited. And Facebook has retained that cost per lead that I had, when I set it to worldwide. And since then, I never changed my ad. It's the same ad that I had back then, back in October 2018, and it's still my winning ad, because I told myself, they always tell us to find and determine your winning ad, but I told myself that this is my story, so I will make it my winning ad because it's me. Because that tells so much about me. And since then, I never got deactivated. I never got I will always get lead, but there are some days where I will get probably less to none, but I would still get leads every now and then. I never took it since then because I had a hard time as well, appealing to Facebook. If you guys would remember, I appealed for 17 times for one of the ad accounts that they actually shut down. So yeah, I never stopped since then. And to tell you, my biggest accomplishment in the business, I managed to fire all of my bosses in just 11 months. And apart from that, yeah, I started earning 5 figures on my 6th month in the business. And I managed to travel. I've covered probably 9 states already in United States, and I traveled to Macau, to Hong Kong because of this business. And this December, my family don't know that I'm actually going home. It's a surprise homecoming, and I'm building a house for my parents too, and they don't know that I'm actually coming home. And it's such a beautiful thing to say. I always get emotional whenever I do this because I could remember how much we struggled back then. To leave from a very small space, back home, and people would take advantage of us, and they actually almost boarded us, back in that place because they took a piece of land that doesn't belong to them. And I told myself that, probably this is the end of the line for us. But this business came just right in time. And I bought that piece of land for my dad because he was keeping an eye on that area for the last 10 years. And he's been telling us, like his children, that he would like to retire there. And he actually didn't know that I bought it for him. So that day when we were in the car, we actually drove by that particular area, and he actually was brokenhearted because he saw that there was a construction going on there, and he didn't know that it was actually for him. So I handed him this folder containing all the contracts and all. So when I gave it to him, in probably in 20 years, that was the first time that I saw him crying. And that was really beautiful to see. So when he saw that it was under his name and my mom's name, he broke down in tears. He was just so happy. And a year later, it's almost done. It's almost built. I just need to buy the furnitures and stuff, and that's where I'm going to celebrate my Christmas. And I never got to spend my Christmas with them for the last 10 years because I'm always away trying to make a living for the family. So what I wanted, the reason why I share that story, it's because you really need to understand your why. I know we all wanted to earn money. We all wanted to be successful in here. But if your why is not so deep, I don't think, you will have the driving force to move forward. And when I realized, when I started, setting realistic goals, that's when I started to achieve, things little by little, one step at a time. And whenever I achieve those, I will set another goal again and try to achieve them. And I always will give myself a time frame. And whenever you do that, always remind yourself, whenever you feel the crappiest, whenever you feel the lowest, that's when you have to double up your efforts. That's when you have to realize that you're doing something that is not right, that you need to step up and put more efforts into the business, because it's basically a red flag, waving at you and telling you that you need to improve on what you're doing in the business. And I know some people, it's hard because it's all about, mind game. And the thing is that people will always give up during the first few challenges that they will come across in the business. And these challenges are actually a beautiful thing to see, because you're going through that. It's because you know that it's going to happen to your downlines in the future as well. And you have a beautiful experience to share to them. And the thing is that you can share it genuinely, like with your experience. You can share it with people because you know that you've been there and you can walk them through that. And I had a hard time leading my downlines as well, because some of them are not participating, some of them are not active. But you know what? I didn't give up on them. And the way I did it was I actually praised those people who are participating and are active. And then when they started seeing that I'm actually giving these people some praises, they actually felt something in them that I want to be like them too. And that's when 80% of my downlines started moving. And they actually helped me out. I didn't despise them or I didn't ditch them, but I was still there for them. But I was basically investing my energy into people who are with me in this journey. and I will always remind them with their whys as well. If they're telling me I'm not seeing any results in the business, the first thing that I always tell them is, have you done everything that you can to make this work for you? Or are your efforts comparable to what I have put into the business? Or are your efforts equates to the person A versus the person B? You will always have to find your niche and do everything that you can. I always tell them, have you tried your warm market? Have you tried investing on your ads? Because the more efforts you put into it, the more budget you put into the ads, then the more results that you will get. So don't be afraid to invest on them, because it's going to pay you back. You're just basically planting seeds that you're going to harvest in time as well. Like even the buyers that I'm getting right now, they're all from 2018 when I started. So I think that's all that I could share. And the thing is that, sorry, this is one more thing that I wanted to share before you let me go. I always tell them to associate their daily life into the business. Like for me, I will always, make a memory trip down, I will always go back to my past, to my childhood, and try to connect that to the present. Just like the other time I had this piece of bread that I could remember from childhood that, I won't be able to buy back then, because we didn't have any means to buy those kind of breads back then. And now that I'm able to buy, some of this stuff, I connect it to the past, and then I connect it to the business as well, telling them that, because of this business, this dream that I had, when I was younger, I managed to buy them, and it's all in my hands right now. But not to the way of not to the point of bragging about what you're getting from the business, but it's all about inspiring people that your dreams will come true if you have the courage to pursue them. So that has been my secret ingredient, I would say. It's all about storytelling, because storytelling is the best marketing. So
Franco, you're an absolute legend. Can I just say, I was doing a training for some of my guys the other day, and I was saying that when I got to meet all the leaders and Michelle in Mexico, do you know what, the leaders of probably, and all people have had the most horrific things that have happened in their life, and instead of giving up, they've turned it into, like you've just said, you will make it happen, and you can make it happen. And your story is such an inspiration, because you weren't not going to let it happen. It was happening. You were going to make it happen. And thank you so much for coming on. Everybody's saying thank you so much, and I think everybody's been crying, and thank you so much for sharing honestly with what you said. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Franco, in the fact that the automatic thing to do when you start a business and targeting is everybody targets the same. And I say this to my guys, actually, target trainers, woolly hats, whatever it is you're wearing in the picture, bring it away from the mainstream targeting, because and that's exactly what you did, and that's how you've got your results and grown so quickly. So you're amazing. You're an inspiration.
And everyone, let me just add that up, in terms of the targeting, like keep yourself up to date. Like what are the current news, like the current events, just like with Black Friday that just happened. I targeted those people actually who would shop online. So in one of my interests, I actually put Black Friday, and I got 30 leads just on the Friday itself.
Fantastic.
So keep yourself up to date of what's happening. Like even the Amazon, the thing that we had before. So I targeted people who were interested in that particular issue, and I started getting leads as well. So
brilliant. And that's what it's all about. I know a lot of people will target particular events that are going on as well in their area, or something that's happening quite big. I think we've got another unmute here somewhere. Do apologize.
That's all right.
I can't even find it. Oh, hold on. No, it's Louise. Hold on, let me just mute. Did you have a question, Louise? Has anybody asked any questions? Are we all good? I think we're all good. Franco, I appreciate you sharing your success tips with us. I appreciate having you on. We all do. Thank you so much, and we wish you more and more success for you and your family.
Thanks so much.
And yeah, someone just keeps unmuting. I do apologize. Apologize, everybody.
I just want to send a message again that it all starts in you. So it all lies in your mind and in your heart. When you connect them together, it will work out for you. And it's all about the attitude. And our success lies not into our mentors and coaches, but it lies within us. It all starts with us.
Yeah.
All right.
Too right. Thank you so much,
right.
Franco. I
You're
love you
very
to
welcome.
bits. And
Thank you, Irene,
thank
for
you
having me
taking
here.
the time. And enjoy all your coaching calls you've got to go and do now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And give all our love to your your family. How amazing is
Absolutely.
that?
I'm leaving in a week, so I'm really excited about it.
We'll look forward to seeing all the pictures.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Have
Franco.
a great day, you guys. Yeah, God bless you, and good luck on all of your businesses.
God bless you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Right, okay. Oh, I don't know. I was going to burst out into tears there, guys. I don't know about you. But what an absolute superstar. Thank you so much to Franco. Okay, so we're staying this side of the pond. We have got coming up for you Ivan, who's going to do an awesome training for us. But now I'm going to bring on an incredible lady. Let me just find her. Hold on. Let's just check she's on. Hold on. Where are you? Now, I'm trying to find Christina Colazzo. Are you on? I can see Christina Alvarado.
I'm here.
Yes!
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. There's so many of you guys on here.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Normally we'll reach capacity, but like I said, we'll record it for everybody. And I really, really appreciate you coming on so much. I'm really grateful because I just so you know, everybody, I always ask the top leaders to if they would like to come on and just outright offered. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So I really appreciate you jumping on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself and then hand straight over to you. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. So for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Christina Coyazzo from Vernon, BC, Canada. And I have 2 young boys, age 9 and 10. And I've been part of the Dream Team for quite a while, but I didn't get started right away, as I think happens with a lot of us. So I ended up seeing Deborah McClanagan's ad in February 2017. And I clicked on it and watched the webinar a couple times, and then I decided to join in March 2017. I had my coaching call with Mike, and I was really excited to get started. I really wanted the trifecta. I think at that time, the trifecta wasn't explained in the pre-coaching videos, so I was kind of surprised at the cost of it when I heard about it on the call. But I definitely knew that's how I wanted to get started, because I just knew that I wanted to set myself up for success in the business. So I told Mike I would have to wait probably a couple months before getting started, but I definitely wanted to come in with the trifecta. And then the very next day after my coaching call with Mike, I actually separated from my husband. So I kind of went through a bit of a transition, and I thought, well, I don't want to get started right away because I want to be able to focus on it. So I told Mike again, he's probably like, why does she keep emailing me these updates? But I sent him a message and said, okay, it's going to be another couple months for me, but I'm definitely in. I'm getting started, right? So my kids and I actually took a leave of absence from my corporate job at the time just to get everything settled. And I moved to a different town with my kids. And so it's about 5 hours away from where I used to live is where I live now. And then I got them through the summertime, and we just kind of relaxed and had a nice, easy summer getting settled in our new town. And then I got them settled in school. And during the whole time, I was keeping an eye on the Dream Team. And it was just so inspiring to see everyone's milestones and everyone's success during that time. So I definitely knew it was going to work. I thought, well, if it's working for all of these people, of course it's going to work for me. We all have access to the same system, the same training. And I knew that I could do it. I just had a feeling about it because I've tried so many other things in the past too. I'm somebody that has been basically trying at-home businesses since I was out of high school. So the last 20 years, I've been trying a number of different things. And I just knew that the traditional network marketing was never going to work for me because I'm not that kind of outgoing person that wants to approach family and friends and ask people to join my business. So when I saw this and I saw that it was all done on Facebook, I just knew I could do it, right? So I ended up getting started in November of 2017, came in with my trifecta. I did a little bit of, I got my likes campaign up and going right away, but I did a little bit of procrastination with the thank you video that we used to have to film for ourselves. Luckily, you guys don't have to do that anymore, but I made so many excuses for that. Like, oh, I can't film that video yet because I need to get an external microphone. So I'll just order that off Amazon. I'll just wait till it arrives. And then, you know, it arrived. I'm like, okay, it's here. I guess I should film that thank you video. So that took me a little bit of time to do. And then in the end, I totally forgot to use this external microphone that I had ordered from Amazon. So anyways, I got that up. I had my funnel done December 2017. And then Mike and Darren were recommending not to start on a new ad for a new ad account during the Christmas season, just because of all the Facebook interns that they hire, and there was a better chance that you'd get your ads disapproved. So I chose to wait until January 2018 to get my first ad going. So I believe it was January 11th, 2018. I got my first ad going, and we started with conversion ads back then. We didn't do engagement ads first. So I did $10 on a conversion ad in Canada, and I did all the wrong things. Like, I think they recommended to choose like maybe between 1 and 5 targets, and I think I chose like 20 or 25 targets, totally mainstream, you know, big targets that we're trying to stay away from. But it did end up working for me. I got my first buyer within 8 days, and then, you know, a couple days later I got another one. A couple days later I got another one. So I'm like, wow, the system really works. But I did end up with quite a few refunds in the beginning. It didn't really bother me though, because I was just excited to see that the system was really working for me. So between January 2018, it took me about 3 months for any of those buyers to actually convert into distributors. So that seemed like a really long time at the time, but looking back on it, 3 months is really nothing. So as soon as my first distributor came on board, it just kind of snowballed from there. I hit 3A in May of 2018, and then 2 weeks later I hit 4A, just because everybody kind of converted at the same time. All those people that were in my funnel started to convert. And then I became a coach in September 2018, and I hit 5A that same month. And then it took me a bit longer to hit 6A. I think I hit 6A March of 2019, so March of this year, 14 months after starting my first ad. And then I actually just quit my corporate job. So after my leave of absence, after I took a leave of absence after my separation, I ended up going back to work, I think 9 months later, just part-time. And then because it's a good job and it's got good benefits, and I have kids and I'm single now, I thought I better hang on to that job for a while. So even though I like basically hated every minute of it, I hung on to it until finally I was like, well, I just don't need to be doing this anymore. I was coming up on my 41st birthday, as well as my 20-year anniversary with the company. And I thought, oh, this is the perfect time to quit. So my last day was on November 20th. And it's been amazing just working from home. It's so awesome. And then I hit 6A on my second account last month, and I'll probably hit 6A on 2 more stacked accounts this month or next month. So that's kind of my journey so far. And I have a couple tips and pieces of advice if you want me to share. Okay, so I remember when I was 4A, I think it was June 2018, I made this post in the Dream Team about what I believe to be the keys to success in the business. So it's still in the Dream Team if you want to search it up, but these are just kind of some of the things from that list. So the big one is just take action every single day. Even if it's just something small, take action on your business. And it's especially important if you're feeling unmotivated or you're procrastinating on doing something you really don't want to do. Do something easy. If you can't do the thing that you're procrastinating on, just pick something else. Do something easy. As long as you're doing something. You could be taking pictures for your next ad. You could be writing a different ad. You could just be welcoming someone into the Dream Team. Like, it could be as easy as that. You could be reaching out to someone for help. You could help another person. That's actually a big one. If you know the answer to something, don't feel that you have to be super experienced to help someone else. If you know the answer, then offer your help. And that's a great way to learn. And it also gives you more confidence in the business. And the other thing I want to say is do more than you think is necessary in your business. So I think a lot of people come in, they see everyone's success and they think, oh, well, then it must be just kind of like an automatic thing that you're successful when you start the business. So they come in and they kind of do the bare minimum. But if you look at all the successful people, they are not doing the bare minimum. So make sure that you're always doing more in your business than you actually think you need to be doing. Just do something extra. Just one thing that you think that, you know, maybe I don't have to do that, but you know what if you did it and it really made all the difference in your business? I know I kind of struggle with go lives. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I mean, if you struggle with go lives, I mean, do one anyways, and then see what that does for your business. I'm actually gonna have to take my own advice on that one. I think I've only done 2 go lives, and they were like only 2 months ago. So this whole business I did without doing any go lives, basically. And then the other thing I want to say is, don't complain if you can. Like, it's really, I know us as human beings, we love to complain about things, but don't complain about anything in the business. If you're having some frustration with, let's say, the training site, the videos aren't exactly as your Facebook shows, that kind of thing, don't complain about it. Just realize that all the people in this business, especially the ones starting in the beginning, didn't have access to half of that training site. It was very basic compared to what's available now. And if you're having trouble with something, reach out for help to someone else. Don't sit there complaining about it. I do notice that the people who complain compared to the people who don't complain and just kind of forge on and do what they need to do, they end up taking a lot longer to make any progress in the business. So it really does affect your business. And also, don't blame others for where you're at in the business, and don't compare yourself to others. So if the sooner you realize that you are the only person responsible for your success or lack of it in the business, the sooner you'll be able to change that for the better. And that's actually a good thing. Like, if you have been in the habit of kind of saying, oh, I can't do this because of this, or I can't do what that person's doing because they have access to this, or they're more outgoing than I am, or whatever the reason is, they have more money than I do to spend on ads. The sooner you just stop thinking like that and start thinking about what you can do to change your business, you'll definitely see an improvement in your business. So go with your strengths, like whatever you are strong at doing already, kind of focus more on that. And then also be honest with yourself about your weaknesses and kind of write them down if you need to. Don't focus on them, but work on them a little bit every day. But if you mostly focus on your strengths and kind of do what you can do in the business, and then also at the same time work on the things you aren't so good at, then you'll definitely be making progress. And that's what it's all about anyways, just making progress, enjoying the journey. That's all I had. I think you're muted still.
Trying to unmute myself. Brilliant. That's all you have. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Do you mind if I just ask you a couple of questions?
For sure. Yeah.
So when you first started, how much were you spending on your ad budget?
Okay. So that kind of goes back to know your strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, I knew that my weakness was talking to people, being outgoing, inviting my warm market to the business, that sort of thing. But I knew I could spend money because I didn't have the money, but I had a line of credit. So I was like, I see these people doing well in the business, and I know I can do it too if I spend the money. So that's something I can control. I will spend the money on ads. So I did start out with $10 a day on my first ad, and then kind of like the week after I would add another campaign at $10 a day, and the week after that I would add another at $10 a day. So I was probably up to $60 a day in my first few months on ads. And then throughout the whole business, I've really done a lot of testing. So I have been up to maybe, I don't even know what I've been up to, but I don't always leave it that high. I kind of try like maybe 8 different campaigns at a time, starting at about $10 or $15 each. And then I'll just start to turn off the ones that aren't working and keep the ones that are working. Just because I don't want to wait. Like, I don't want to start out an ad and then wait for a couple weeks to see if it's actually going to work. So I have like a few different ones going at the same time, and I'll just end up turning off the ones that aren't working. And then the ones that are working, I usually just duplicate at the campaign level, and I might change the location or change one interest or something like that.
Fantastic. And I love the fact that you just said you've only recently done some go live. So how many months have you been in the business?
Well, I guess technically since November 2017, so 2 years. And I did my first go live. Yeah, my first go live, actually, Coral Steffen forced me to do it with her. It was like a group go live. So I don't consider that my go live because I didn't do it. And then I went to a couple other meetups, and they forced me to be in their go lives as well. But the first go live I actually controlled, and I started myself on my phone, was just at Thanksgiving, so in October. You know, Mike put out that coaches challenge that we should all introduce ourselves in the dream team. So I first did one on my business page just to get practice. And then immediately after that, while I was still in the zone, I did my go live in the dream team. But that's definitely one of the things that I'm going to work on. That's kind of on my list of things to work on.
But I love that. I always say that because like Mike's no problem with doing go lives. Darren used to hate them. You know, he just didn't do them, or even video adverts. And so your adverts have all been conversions and photo pictures.
I started out with, I started right out with conversions, and I always have preferred conversions, but I've tried everything else as well, like message ads, lead generation ads, engagement ads. I've actually got a message ad running right now in the UK, so we'll see how that goes. The only thing with message ads that I find is if someone clicks on your ad, it immediately sends you a message, even if they didn't mean to do it. So you get a lot of people that aren't really interested sending you these messages. And then you're like, okay, did you want more info? And they're like, no, I'm not interested. So you're like, well, then why'd you click on my ad? They just cost me money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right. Well, see how it goes. Keep us updated with that. And so, do you mind me asking what's been your biggest payday or your biggest month so far?
I think it was 17,000. I've consistently been making 5 figures since July 2018. So since I've stacked my accounts, like when I hit 4A in June 2018, I immediately stacked my accounts 3 levels deep. And then, as you know, from there you make quite a bit of commission on all your future sales. So since then, I've been consistently making 5-figure months.
Fantastic. And that's it now? You're just doing this full time?
Yeah, doing this full time. And my coaching calls this. And then I signed up for the Positive Shift Academy, which is an amazing program. I think everyone should get on board with that.
Most definitely.
So that'll be another income stream in the future. But for me, I just love the program itself. I would have done it even if it wasn't an income stream.
Yeah.
It's just exactly what I needed.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on. Before we let you go, does anyone have any questions? Has anyone wrote any? I'm too busy watching you. I can't see if anyone has. Everyone's saying thank you so much. Thank you, Christina. Thank you. I think we're all good. Fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and join us and share your tips. And
how to make a comment?
Oh, hold on.
You can hear
you're
me.
on live, Louise.
It's the first time I've done this, so I don't know what I'm doing, and I've had a few glasses of wine, so I'm playing around at the bottom.
Right, I've noticed you've done your hand a few times, so I'll.
All right.
Did you want to say your comment before I mute you? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I'm just thinking this is really good. Nice to hear what everybody's saying.
Brilliant.
It's quite motivating.
Thank you, beautiful lady. Right, well, I better. Hold on, are you still there, Christina?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. You're an absolute superstar. Oh my gosh, everybody's getting unmuted now. Hold on.
Thanks for having
me. I don't know what you're supposed to do. It's the first time I've done it.
Hold on. Right, I think I've got everybody muted now. Oh my gosh, this system's got a mind of its own this evening. Thank you so much, Christina, for coming on. We really appreciate you taking your time out. And I'll see you in the Positive Shift.
Yeah.
I'm about to get in there this evening. So
awesome.
Have a fun.
Bye.
Oh, thank you. Bye. A minute, Cindy's put, when you say you target a specific thing, that must have been for Franco, Black Friday or something on Amazon. Are you changing targeting on your advert every time? I think, Cindy, what Franco was talking about was that yes, I mentioned it on my call. So a lot of people will tend to go mainstream target things that everybody expects, like work from home mums, people looking for a work from home business. And the challenge you've got there is people have got a really large ad budget, and talking about famous people now, literally can target them. So if you've only got a small budget and you're putting it on those mainstream targeting, you're going to struggle to get seen. So what Franco was saying, whereas everybody else was targeting the same thing, he basically picked things that other people wouldn't be targeting. So say, for example, I don't know, let's just say there's a picture of me here in my bedroom now and I've got feathers on my back wall. I could literally put targeting in if that was my picture. So it's about thinking a bit more out of the box. And yes, what he was saying, Cindy, is you can reuse adverts and retarget them to different areas and to different interests as well. So you can change your targeting on an advert, but if you've got a good advert that's bringing you in lots of leads, you're not going to want to change that anyway, but you can duplicate it, or you can do another advert. I hope that's kind of answered what we were talking about. Right, woo! This is so awesome this evening. Now I've got to go and find the one, the only, and the incredible, my awesome friend over here. Ivan, are you there?
Yeah, good evening. How are we?
Yay! Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, we've got so many of the posse on this evening. I can see Graham and Louise as well. Fantastic. Right. So what I'm going to do is, Ivan is an absolute legend, and he's having great results. And so I asked him if he would come on and share his training, and as an absolute legend that he is, he's agreed to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut up and I'm going to hand it over to you. Oh, hold on, let's make sure we get your screen shared first.
Let me do that now.
Yeah, let's do that. Yes, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, can you hear me okay and everything?
I can hear you loud and clear, so I'm going to mute myself and hand over to, can everybody see Ivan's screen? Give me a wave if you can. Yes, perfect. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Ivan. I'm going to mute myself and let you crack on.
No problem. So good evening, everybody. How are we? So my name's Ivan, and as Irene said, I was asked to come on and just share some, I guess, my story, but also I've actually started embarking on some different advertising on YouTube. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But first, let me tell you a little bit about me. So I'm Ivan. I live in Manchester with my partner, Ryan. And I started this business back in, well, May. I kind of started the whole process. I ran my first ad on the 30th of June of this year, having gone through all the training, etc. So I started off with, I did a video ad, and I did a lead gen ad. That was kind of my starter for 10. And both worked really, really well from a lead perspective. You know, I just did the video literally outside my back door in the garden, nothing special. And the lead gen ad just had a picture up there. And I got a lot of leads through, and I got very excited. It was great. But nothing kind of happened I got my first kind of buyer at the back end of July. So probably about 4 weeks. And then I got my first buyer. And then it was probably about another month before I then got another buyer. Then I had a bit of a dry spell. And it was during that dry spell that I started to look at kind of other advertising opportunities, really. But let me just kind of backtrack a little bit. So I work in financial services. That's why I work for a bank. Ryan, he works for EasyJet, European airline. So we're all about travel. Everything on our page is travel, travel, travel. That's what it's all about. Our why is to travel more. But it is, you know, like a lot of us, I've got the whole kind of job quitter type ambition as well. But I'm also thinking beyond that and thinking to retirement. And this business is the perfect vehicle, I think, to support somebody in retirement, really. So that's kind of part of this as well. So we started advertising. We did all that. Lead gen. So lead gen hasn't worked for me. So I said I got loads and loads of leads off lead gen, but none of them converted into buyers. Personally, I think it's that trigger delay, because you know you have to input the lead yourself in from a lead gen perspective, and I think there was a delay. Well, there was a delay because you could never literally stay on top of it 24/7. I then started the whole Zapier thing, which is that software that you can get where it sends you a text when you get a lead, and it does all that automatically for you. So that, on the face of it, is great. But then it turns out there's actually a little delay in terms of when they send those texts to you. So you think you're getting a text live, like when you get the email, but you're actually not. There is a delay there. And I'm firmly of the belief that people, when they click that button to submit the details, they want that email then. They want it right now. And if they don't get it, I believe some of them lose interest. I think I do believe we lose some people. If you're not there straight away, you don't get that email. And I think that was my problem with the lead generation ads. So I parked them and I focused on video. Story hasn't worked for me, and it's really strange, isn't it, how some ads work for some people, and some ads don't, and vice versa. And for me, story just hasn't worked. Video is absolutely the key audience that responds to our ads. So what happened then is I started looking into other avenues, and I came across another ad on Facebook, somebody else's ad, talking about YouTube and how it was this untapped market. So I explored it and kind of moved forward. To cut a long story short, and I'm going to go through the detail in a minute, but 4 of my last 7 buyers have come from my YouTube advertisement, and 2 of them have become distributors. So YouTube is working for me. Absolutely is. I appreciate you need a video, but it is absolutely working for me. So, but I do want to now share a little bit about what I've learned. So, right, the screaming cat, right? So, if you've not got patience in this business, right, you're screwed, right? You need patience, and if you don't have it, you will learn it. You've no choice, right? We have to be patient, and things don't always happen in the time frame that we want them to, right? That's just life, okay? I've learned, and I'm sure a lot of you have learned, right? Just because you get a lead, that doesn't mean they're going to become a buyer straight away. So, and the same for a buyer, they're not necessarily going to become a distributor straight away. We want them to, all right? But just because they don't, that isn't a bad thing. And I found it really hard, you know, because I am quite an impatient person. I am a hold my hands up, I'm quite impatient. And you kind of want people to move, and I'm tempted to do I drop them a message and do this, and I've stopped myself, and no, you don't, because you this is where you trust the system and you trust the training, all right, but you do need to be patient. And I'm seeing that now. You know, 5.5, kind of heading for 6 months into the business, you know, people that bought in a few months ago are starting to ask questions, and I'm getting people who are sitting on the fence, but I know they're watching, and I know that they're kind of just observing and seeing what's going on, and I firmly believe that they will ultimately move through the process, and it just takes time. For whatever reason, it just isn't their right time now, but I do believe it will be. And so that's where the patience piece comes in, all right? It's interesting because I've had quite a few conversations. Irene mentioned that we've had meetups in Manchester and stuff like that. And it's interesting when you talk to people in terms of, you know, how they approach things and various things. And just from my own mentees, you know, they're asking lots of questions about the training and this and that, which is all good. And I think we all go through a learning process of getting to know the site. But I think it's really important now that I've got my distributors, I'm fully realizing the need to absolutely know that training site inside and out. So, because we need to be able to help them navigate it. You know, the training is fantastic, but sometimes I think it was mentioned earlier, sometimes a video that shows us the current screen in Facebook maybe isn't up to date because Facebook have made a change, you know, and obviously someone coming in and watching a video, that gets confusing, and we need to be there to be able to guide and show them a way forward. And sometimes if you're not kind of clear on that could become really quite difficult. So, you know, that's definitely a tip. If you don't know the training site, get to know it, because when you get some buyers and distributors, you are going to need that information. You're really going to need to know it, but it will help you as well. It helps you as a person, helps you understand the business more if you are fully engaged in that site. Don't be afraid to test. So we say this a lot, everybody says it, test, and it's true. And you know, everyone we talk about trying a different target, trying a different audience, trying a different picture, trying a different video, whatever it may be, don't be afraid to do that. And that's what I've tried to do. And it does work. You do see different results, and it's worth doing that, I think, you know. And then the last one's quite interesting. So celebrate others' success, because, you know, we see so much in the Dream Team. It's fantastic. I mean, even being on this tonight, you know, the encouragement and the motivation and just the inspiration that you get from Franco and from Carolyn and Kathy, you know, all that, it's fantastic, you know. But sometimes, you know, being the type of people that we are, because we are all human, you find yourself kind of looking at other people's success and going, oh, I want that. Why is it not happening to me? What am I not doing? What are they doing that I'm not doing? And you find yourself questioning, and I've done it, and we all do it, and I get that. But I just think it's, you know, we just need to, our time will come, and I'm seeing that now 5 months on, and you know, you do start to, things do change, you know, but it is really important, I think, that we celebrate everyone else's success, and we do a great job of it, and it's amazing to see, but it actually lifts me when I see other people doing really, really well, you know, so I think that's really, really important. So I'm going to stop waffling and preaching now. I want to talk to you about YouTube. So YouTube, right? I assume everyone's familiar with YouTube, yeah? So we get at that. It is a few little stats for you. So YouTube is the second biggest search engine after Google. So like just take a minute and just think about that. That in itself is huge, right? Okay, 5 billion videos are watched every single day. Okay. There's a forecast that 82% of all web traffic will utilize video by 2021. Okay, and currently YouTube is pretty untapped. Okay, it's pretty untapped. It's not got anything like the market share from an ad revenue perspective that Facebook has. So it's less crowded, which means less competition, which is kind of a big result, isn't it, really? And another interesting stat that I only came across when I was kind of researching doing this tonight is the average length of a video that's watched on Facebook is 10 minutes. So what that says to me is that people are used to sitting and watching a video, and they want to sit and watch a video. It's not like Facebook. You could argue Facebook's a bit more challenging because people are skipping through the news feed, and you know, it's maybe more around pictures. They don't mind the odd video, but you know, YouTube is video. So if they're on YouTube, they want to watch a video, and they're comfortable to sit down there with a cup of tea and watch something. Okay, so that's some interesting stats there. So what I did is I've actually created 2 funnels. So, and this is where it starts to get interesting. So I've got a YouTube funnel and I've got a Facebook funnel. And the reason why I've done that is because YouTube seems to be much more lenient when it comes to the words that you can use. So the top example you can see there, so that's my YouTube. So how we travel the world whilst running a digital business, generating high quality leads using just a laptop and a mobile phone. All right, that would never get through Facebook. The generating high quality leads would never get through Facebook, right? Absolutely fine on YouTube, no issue with it at all. Okay, to be fair, I could actually have gone more aggressive, okay, and I think it would have been fine. So that in itself, so clearly you want to keep your Facebook funnel intact with the right words. So that's why I'm certainly not suggesting for 1 second that you change that, but I would suggest potentially that you take advantage of, you know, the very reasonable price to get a new funnel put in place to do it and create a much more aggressive headline, because like I say, YouTube I think will be fine with it. So that's why I did that. So, and it literally took a few days and I was up and running. It wasn't an issue in the slightest. Where YouTube comes into its own is you don't get charged. So when you have your ad, you don't get charged until somebody watches 30 seconds of that video. So what you can see on screen here is you can see this is my video, right? And you've got on the bottom, so you've got the call to action. So you've got the free workshop, register, right? That's what they see. And then you've got that little skip ad button there, which is that thing that counts down. If anyone's familiar with YouTube, you'll know when you click a video, you get this ad comes up and you get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you have the option to skip it. All right. If they don't click that skip ad, I don't pay anything until they've then watched 30 seconds of that ad. I mean, that's amazing. Someone's actually sitting watching 30 seconds of your ad before you even get charged. Right, that's it. So let me just put that out there, right? 30 seconds, right? That in itself is amazing, right? What happens then is obviously they watch the ad, and then obviously they can click register, and then that takes them through to the funnel page that I've seen. I use skippable, what they call skippable in-stream ads. So what that is basically the video playing, and just like you see on here, my little video then plays in the corner, and they have the option to skip it. There are other options on YouTube. I'm not even bothered with them. No idea about them. Don't profess to be an expert on them. Ignore. Just focus on skippable in-stream ads would be my absolute guidance. So let me show you then a little bit about my performance in terms of what's happened for me. So what you can see on screen here right, is I've spent 720 quid, right, since, when did I start that? Since September. I've generated 322 leads. So I'm basically paying £2.24 a lead on average for my YouTube leads that are coming through. Okay, that's what I'm paying, right? So for me, that feels quite reasonable. I'm quite happy with that. It'd be nice to get it a bit lower, but you know, it is what it is. But I think that's really, really reasonable. Certainly when you hear people who are paying 10, 15, 20 pounds a lead. I mean, I've never paid that in my life, but anyway. So it feels really reasonable. Budget-wise, I'm spending £10 a day, right? I've actually upped it to 15 actually, but that's just £10 a day is what I'm spending there. So a few of the bits, you don't need an existing YouTube channel to run your ads, right? You can literally go in from scratch. You don't need any subscribers. You don't need to have any presence whatsoever on YouTube to do this. You can literally go in, set up a channel and run your ads off it. That's it. You don't need any subscribers or anything like that, okay? You obviously just need a video that you're going to run, okay? All right. All you're going to do is pay YouTube to run your ad, okay? So the way the ads work, it works on two things, right? Either keywords or placement. So when you're setting up an ad, you have a choice of, do you want to target specific keywords? So by a keyword, I mean what goes in the search bar, and you can see me highlighting it on the screen there. So what I mean is if somebody types in make money online, that's going to bring up then a number of videos, okay? And what'll happen is when they click on those videos, your ad will play. Alternatively, you might want to target what they call placements. So a placement is the actual video. So a placement is that video. You actually can tell YouTube to run your ad just before that video. So the video that I'm pointing out there, how to make money online fast, 2 legit ways on how to make money fast. You could actually pay YouTube to show your ad to anybody that clicks on that video. Right, so just think about this. This is what amazed me. Right, so you've got a situation here where you've got people who are actively looking for videos around how to make money online, how to start a business online, whatever the keyword is you want to use. Right, and then they find a video, right, and then they play it, and you can pay YouTube to show your ad before that video. So if that's not a warm lead, I don't know what is, really, seriously, right? And it all then comes down to how much you pay, right? And like Facebook, then there is a bid piece in there, but you can leave that blank and it'll just do it automatically and work it within your budget, right? But it does work in it. It's trial and error. So what you can do, so I use, there's a piece of software called tubesift.com, right? It's a monthly thing, right? But what you can do in that is you can actually put in a search like make money online or home business or digital business, and it will bring up a raft of videos that are monetized videos that you could actually copy the URL on and paste in, and you could actually generate very easily this list of 50 or 100 different videos that you could tell YouTube to place your ad on. And also, likewise, you can search for keywords. So you can put in home business, start a business online, and it will bring up a raft of relevant keywords that it feels are appropriate that you can then put into YouTube and target your ads that way. So I did that. I did it for a month, took a load of keywords and various things, and then I cancelled it, all right? There's value potentially going back and doing it again, but anyway, you know, but it worked for me after a month, so I was happy. So that is some software to do exactly that. So that is a beauty of YouTube, to be fair. So what I was going to do, if we've got time, is I was actually going to go through and create an ad. If I can stop doing this, to show you how potentially easy it actually is to do this. Let me just move the control thing out of the way. So you can Google Ads. So like Facebook, you've got Facebook Tag Manager. The Google Ads Manager is the Google, clearly equivalent of the Facebook Ads Manager, right? So to create a new campaign, you'd literally go in, you click on the plus thing, you click on a new campaign, right? Now, it's interesting here because you've got a choice. You can choose leads or you can choose website traffic, Okay, but let's for argument's sake choose leads. You can actually also leave it blank and create a goal without a goal, a campaign without a goals guidance. And my first campaign I actually did that, but now I'm targeting leads. So let's do that for argument's sake. It's then asking for the campaign type. Again, various options on here. Clearly, I'm going to go for a video. You click on video, right, and then continue. Wait for it to load. Right, okay, so you've got your names here. So just like Facebook, you can name it whatever you want to name it. I'm not going to change that now for the interest of time. Bidding strategy, so you've got two options here. You've got target cost per action or maximize conversions. I quite understandably want to maximize conversions, so I'm not going to touch that. All right, my budget, again, like on Facebook, daily, you can do an overall total if you want to. So let's just say I want to do £10 a day. Right, that's fair. I want it to start as soon as possible, as soon as the ads are approved. Okay, you're moving down. It then asks you, where do you want your videos to show? So this is quite interesting because I would recommend you only want them to show on YouTube videos. I would actively untick the partners on the display network. Only put it on YouTube videos, right? That's a core, your core audience. People who are on YouTube. You don't want people who are off to the side doing different things. You just want YouTube videos, right? Languages, clearly English, right? If you want to put anybody else in there, then fine, any other language in there. But for the purpose of this, we'll just use English. Click off that. Right, locations. So from a YouTube perspective, there are 5 big locations: USA, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. I'm not quite sure about New Zealand, but there you go. That's the 5th, the hot topic, right? But so in here, you would then put whatever you want to put in there. So for obviously you'd use United Kingdom. I actually go broader. I advertise in some areas in Asia and the Middle East, and they're working for me. One of my last distributor was from Dubai, so that worked for me. If you want to have more, you can literally, so you can put in there Canada and do whatever you want to do in there. You can just keep repeating that and add in as many locations as you want to. Okay, so we'll leave it at 3 for now. Okay, moving down. You can ignore all this section and literally just go to additional settings here, right? And another helpful tip is you do want to specify the devices that you want them to show on. So I would click this button here, right, and untick tablets and TV screens and just leave it at computers and mobile phones, right? Again, similar to Facebook, you don't want it on things that people can't take action on properly. I've had no success with tablets. TV screens, I think pretty much is a no-brainer, if I'm being honest. But, if you want to use tablets, go for it. Personally, I avoid them. You can ignore all this. This is another interesting one, frequency capping. So this is asking you, how many times a day do you want your ad to show to somebody? So I would suggest because you don't want to upset anybody, right? So you don't want to annoy anybody. So I would say you don't want your ad to show to any one person any more than once per day, right? And that would be, but if you want to try something different, then obviously go for it. My advice would be leave it at 1. Okay, ad schedule I would leave untouched. Okay, demographics, let's move on down. So again here, so it's personal here. You might want to target parents, etc., particular age groups. You can target income. All right, for me, I don't target parents. I untick parents and I untick the lower 50. I leave unknown because the household income is not blanket. I actually think it's specific to the US. All right, so I also leave unknown in there to pick up the rest of the world. All right, there might be some age groups that you want to untarget as well. All right, but again, we'll leave it pretty broad for the purpose of this. All right, moving on down, ignore audience. Right, this now here, keyword is where if you were doing it by keyword, you would literally just put them in here. So let's just say we want to put in start an online. Whoops, going to type Ivan. Online business. Oh. Oh, the pressure of typing online business, right? That's one. Maybe you then want to put home business. You can put whatever, right? That's where you put your keywords. All right, that's it. That's done. All right, just close that up again, right? So for me, you would only ever do keywords or placements. You would never do one campaign, with both keywords and placements. It's one or the other, right? So if you want to try both, do like you want on Facebook, do one-on-one for keywords, duplicate it, and then change it to placements, okay? If you were doing placements, so let me just show you, right? All you do is you put the URL in, right? So let's, for example, say, let me find the URL for a video. So this is my ad actually. So let me just copy my URL. So you literally would type or paste in here the URL, right? And that's it, right? If you want to put a big list in, which you can, so literally that's done. That's now done, right? But here you've got this button to enter multiple placements. So you literally using that TubeSift Academy that I mentioned before, that TubeSift, you literally can copy the list from the academy, the TubeSift program, and literally just paste it into multiple placements. Literally, and it's as easy as that. Literally, two actions on your mouse. It's nothing, right? So that's how you do the placements. So let me just get rid of that for the argument's sake. Close that down, right? Then you're going to put your video on, right? So you need to have a YouTube channel, right? So, but like I say, you can just literally create it from scratch just to run your ad, right? You upload your video, you get it on there, right? And then you literally, all you're going to do is you're going to copy the URL, right? Simple as that. Go back into the campaign, paste the ad, paste the URL in, and it'll find the video just like that, right? And that's it. We're virtually there now, right? Like I said to you, you want the skippable in-stream format. You don't want to do anything differently. Type in your URL. So for me, so it's let's go on, guys. Marketing. Oh God, here we go again with the typing. Marketing.com, right? The display URL, and you can see it starting to create it here in the middle of the screen, right? So the OCD in me, I like to have this in capitals, but only one letter in capitals. So this was an interesting learn as well, that Facebook doesn't like YouTube doesn't like capitalization in its in the way you do this. So what I mean by that is don't type this in capitals, right? They don't like it. Right, and my ad hung around and they wouldn't approve it literally for about a week, and I chased and eventually I got this little email back saying it's due to capitalization. I was like, what are you talking about? And it's because of that, right? You just want it as you would type it, and it'll sail through, right? So globalguysmarketing.com, right? Call to action. So what do I want them to do? I want them to register, right? And the headline, so you can see the number of characters you've got down the side here. You've not got many, right? So I just say free workshop, and you can use the word free on YouTube. So there you go. That's a clear thing. So Facebook, you never get away with that. On YouTube, you absolutely can. Free workshop, right? And that is it. As soon as I click create a campaign, that's my campaign done. It'll then go in to be reviewed. It does take longer than Facebook. Potentially, it's at least 2 days each campaign. But you can see it there, right? You can see it, right? Now, let me just quickly show you. So my ad, so I did all this on my phone, right? I'm not for 1 second saying you should all duplicate this, but just an ad of you talking kind of like, hey, everybody, I just want to tell you, bear in mind, you're interrupting the video they're on. So something like, hey, everybody, just want to interrupt you. Sorry for interrupting your video for a minute, but let me just tell you about a great online business opportunity I got involved in 5 months ago, blah, blah, blah. Just something like that, high energy, 20, 30, 40 seconds, well, at least 30, because you won't buy it for money, right? Just saying something like that, right? It doesn't need really any pictures or anything like that. I've put pictures in, but you don't need to do that, right? But a video of you talking so that people can respond to who you are, see what you're about, and it works, right? But this is the kind of thing that I show.
Hey everyone, let me tell you about.
I don't know if you can actually hear the audio. You better tell me in the chat. Can you hear the audio?
Ryan, we love to travel. We love to travel, and every single month, all our disposable income goes on travel. The problem is, dream holidays and the travel that we like to take is expensive, yeah? The great news is we have a solution. On a digital business, it is 90% automated.
Can you hear the audio?
We can be off traveling, enjoying everything this beautiful world has to offer, and all the while, our digital business is working for us. Absolutely amazing. We run a workshop, a webinar that tells you all about this Okay, we teach you how you can use social media to attract high quality customers. We tell you how to find and use automated systems to close the sale for you. We've researched and we've found products that pay high revenues. And the most fantastic part about it is you don't need any experience at all. All you need is your laptop, mobile, and internet. Okay. For us, this has allowed us to travel to some amazing, amazing destinations. Okay. First class, business class flights wherever we want to go. We stay in the best hotels. We visit some amazing, amazing destinations like Australia, like Asia, like South America, the States, even Russia. And this business has allowed us to do that. So if you're ready to take action, if you're looking for a change, if you're looking to start a business, a digital business, but don't know where to start, then this is where you start. By registering right now, okay, put your email address in, the link is floating somewhere around this video, put your email address in and your name, I will send you a personal link to watch the workshop. And this could be you could be traveling to South America, to Australia, to Japan, into Europe, all the whilst your business is working for you. It's the first step. Watch the way I look forward to partnering with you.
So there you go. So the interesting part of the reason why I like to show that is because there's so many words in there and so many things I say in there that you know potentially Facebook might not like, you know, but it works on YouTube and it's absolutely fine, right? You've got to remember though, it's important to include a call to action. So I've paused it here because you do want, as soon as you finish talking, you want some type of picture on there that reminds people what you want them to do. So there's a workshop, it's register now, right? You want to give people that reminder. So how do I get my screen back now? How do I go full screen? Oh, anyway, I'll leave it where it is. So that is YouTube, right? I think there's quite a lot of questions in there, but I've not been able to see them yet. But hopefully that's helped. Hopefully that's been of use and interest. I'm not the expert, honestly. I'm really not. I've tried it. It's working. I'm just sharing my experience. So I certainly haven't got all the answers, but I do hope that has helped. And maybe some of you will try it, and I'll be really interested to hear how you guys get on with it, you know. But I do think it's important that we have a backup for Facebook. You know, we can't put all our eggs in one basket. And I know we're exploring lots of other avenues, Reddit and various things. So, but YouTube's working for me. So there you go. Thank you, Irene. Back over to you.
Ivan, absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Absolutely brilliant. That's been so insightful, and I know loads of people. There has been a couple of questions. The questions we've had is, have you had more buyers from Facebook or YouTube? Buyers? Yeah.
4 or 5. It's pretty much an even split actually right now.
Okay.
Right. What I will say though is, since kind of back in September, all my buyers have come from YouTube.
Right, and you're advertising on both YouTube and
Facebook. I'm struggling with Facebook at the minute.
Okay, fab. Well, I think one of the things you've just nailed, it's almost a bit like horses for courses, but because you are so good and you do like doing your videos and you've took the time to edit them, and YouTube is massively visual. You know, Facebook is scroll, whereas people are prepared and actually wanting to watch your videos. So I think that's absolutely incredible. Well done.
What I would say though, don't be so. YouTube is built on unprofessional videos that look professional.
Yeah.
So it's all YouTube's ethos is amateur video, right? Yeah. Please don't think that you need to do a slick, polished video. People people respond to people. And if you make a mistake and you flush your lines, it's not a problem. People actually it helps people warm to you, is my personal view. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. And a couple of people have asked, you said you've I didn't want to answer it because I wanted to see what you said, that you've got the 2 funnels. So basically everybody you can have 2 funnels built. I think they charge an extra $25 to have another funnel built.
It's nominal. It's virtually nothing, seriously.
So what did you do? Is that where you've just gone in through the training and submitted it then?
Just submitted a new funnel form. And I think there's an option on there for a new funnel. So, you know, you've got your option, update your pixel code in various things. I think there's an option on there for another funnels, and just ticked it and just told them I wanted a new funnel. Obviously, you have to go into GoDaddy. You literally go through the training again and just do the steps. Go into GoDaddy, create your new website with a new address, get your new associated email address, and then go on and send it to the funnel team.
Can you use the funnel that you already have? Did you change it so you could be a bit more daring?
So, yeah. So I initially, day one, I went live with my Facebook funnel.
Yeah.
And then I changed it and created a second one so I could be a bit more, you know, basically. And to be fair, I quite like it because when I get the leads in, then it's dead easy for me to see where the leads come from, because the YouTube leads come from one email address, right?
Yeah.
World Guys Marketing, and then my Facebook leads come from ivanandryan.com. So it's dead easy to, you know, and that's why actually, all the way through the day, I've got a mental note of exactly which one's performing and which one isn't. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I know that Facebook's just not quite working for me. And I'm only spending £7. I started off on £5 a day on Facebook. I up to 10. I've messed around that level. Currently doing 7, and it's just not happening for me. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, horses, but it has, because you have had buyers from Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the moment, you're finding that YouTube's working better for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, certainly. I'm not giving up. I'm still running ads on Facebook, and I'm continuing to test and tweak. You know, just finding what works. You know, clearly, you know, Franco was on. You know, Facebook works. You know, there's no question at all, is there? And for everybody else, there's no question that Facebook works. It's just finding your little niche, isn't it?
Yeah, and you guys are so really good that you know, you like doing your videos as well. So I think it's fantastic. And like you said, having something else to fall back onto, it's not having all your eggs in one basket with your advertising. Di's just put, yes, that is correct. Do the training again, create a new funnel. You can still use the domain code to buy. What was it, $19 for the year?
Yeah, you get the deal again. You can still get the deal and get it virtually for nothing.
Yeah, and Di said, yeah, like you've just said, you can literally have 2 test and measure where your results are coming in from. Nats has just put, do you think that is because you like videos more? I know Aaron just said that, but do you like videos more?
I guess I think, personally, I think it's what I would respond to. I respond to someone who I can see and get a sense of what they're about and so on. You know, and that's video, isn't it? You know, and that's my personal view. And I feel I'm okay on the video. I'm quite happy talking. I could talk all day. I'm like you. Do you know what I mean? So,
I don't know. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Can you see me as well?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how to message on here.
Okay, go on. Have you got a question?
Not really. Just I've had lots of thoughts, but I just don't know how to send a message.
Okay, so there's a chat box that you should be able to see. The chat box is at the bottom of your screen.
It's participants.
So it should, next to participants, there'll be a share button, and then there's a little round voice bubble which says chat.
No, it says participants with a voice bubble. I click on that.
Yeah.
And then it gives me a list of people.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do a training on how you can find the...
Oh my God, Iris, so much for me to absorb. But
don't worry, it's all recorded, awesome ladies. So you'll be able to rewatch it and take it all in. Right, awesome. Thank you so much, Ivan. You're an absolute legend. Appreciate you coming on and sharing this. And this is going to be recorded as well, so people can rewatch it and rewatch how you showed everything. So thank you so much, Ivan. You're a superstar. Okay, wow, it's been a full house this evening. And now we are crossing over to pizza. I can't even say it. We're going over to Italy to find Rhoda, who has kindly agreed to come on this evening as well. Rhoda, are you there?
I am here.
Yay! First of all, huge, massive, gigantic congratulations.
Thank you.
You're absolutely buzzing, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Fantastic.
For a week now. For a week now.
I'm so absolutely over the moon for you, and I really
Thank
appreciate you
you.
coming on this evening, because it was kind of last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I will hand over to you if you would share your story and your top tips. And by the way, everybody, we're looking at 4A and official.
Thank you, Irene. Oops.
I can't. Oh, sorry. My screen.
We're losing you. Okay, should I just, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Can you hear me now? Brilliant. Okay, so I will mute myself and I'll hand over to you, and then that.
Okay, I guess I'll just have to move forward. Okay, so buonasera a tutti. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, Irene, for giving me this opportunity to share my story here. It's an absolute honor. So thank you. And tonight has been an amazing mastermind. So many amazing tidbits and stories. So thank you so much. So first of all, my name is Sarada and I am a Filipina. I am 38 years old. I am married. I have 3 kids and I live in Pisa, Italy for about 18 years now. So I tried so many jobs. I did McDonald's. I waited tables. I worked with the elderly. I tried traditional business in 2008 where I opened a tiny cafe here in Pisa. And me and my husband, we invested almost 80,000 euros to get it up and running. And after 18 months, we said enough is enough, as it just brought us up to 140,000 euros in debt. So we said opening a brick and mortar business with just our desire to make a better future for us and for our family. It was it wasn't enough. So we had no support whatsoever, and we didn't have enough money, more money to finance it. So we just shut it down, and I returned to being an employee. He was still working. He didn't quit his job at the moment. So I also had my fair share of direct selling. But with 3 kids, with different schedules, it didn't really work for me. So it was so time consuming, and let's be honest, how many lotions and lipsticks should I sell before earning a decent amount of money? So when I saw my mentor Hazel's ad late summer of last year, I knew that this business is what I am unconsciously looking for. And I say unconsciously because at that time I wasn't looking for an online business, but I was looking for a way to go to Canada. Yes, I wanted to go to Canada, and I still do. So when I saw the webinar and discovered that the business was founded by our amazing Canadian couple and Leanne, I said, this is it. But I didn't bought in right away. I snooped everyone and everything in that webinar, to have some security. It's normal because the internet is daunting, and I don't want more debt piling over our heads. And after 2 weeks, I bought in without telling my husband, and I was blown away. I wanted to start immediately, but I had no liquidity because I was not working. I couldn't start with the e-payment because I would have to make a down payment, which I couldn't afford to make at that time. And at that time, the Dream Team was fairly new in Europe. So they didn't know that there is a third-party financing available here. So I had to loan somewhere else. And it took me almost a month to find something. Anyway, I started advertising on November. I guess it's the 14th or the 21st. I don't remember. What else? I started advertising on November, and I got my first distributor on my 4th month. And I have to say that I didn't have the right mindset at the moment when I started. I had the drive, I had the desire, but I wasn't really there. I started reading the magic. On the 3rd day, I stopped because, you know, it was also new to me. And then when I had the moment that I kind of really assessed myself, and I took really I really took the time to think about it, and I said, if I am here, I have to do it. I have to give my all. So what I did was I started reading the magic again, and on my, what day was that? Day 21. I don't know if you can see. Magnificent outcomes. That was the day that I got my first distributor. Amazing! The magic really worked. And yeah, after that, that was my first distributor was on March, on my 4th month. And then on my, I started with two products because I could only start with 2 products because I have to put budget on my ad too. So on my 5th month, I hit my 2A. And on September, after 6 months, I hit 3A. But I have to say that I was able to discipline myself with regards to, you know, being disapproved, with regards to ads, being disapproved, and all the shebangs that goes with it. You know, I kind of have 2 personalities in this business. I mean, I'm dealing with with ads being disapproved. I am a robot. I'm a machine. I mean, I'm dealing with a robot most of the time with Facebook because there's no person at the other side of our ads, right? On Facebook Business Manager. So when I'm dealing with these approvals, I don't really deal with it. I just move forward. But when I make a new ad, I morph to my human side. I use my feelings. I use my intentions. What I do when I create a new ad is I see to it that I cuddle with my kids or with my husband, or I have a good laugh because you know, we are attraction marketers. So you have to have a great vibration to attract people with great vibrations as well. So yeah, that's what I do with my ads. And what I can add to that is when I started seeing movement in my business, that was the time when I got over of myself. One of my struggles was doing videos because I live in Italy, and this is a non-English speaking country. And for 18 years, I haven't conversed in English with anyone. So I said, I'm afraid to make a mistake. What if they judge me with my English, or you know, all the usual limitations that we put on ourselves. But when I did that, I actually I don't know, most of you know, or a little number of you know that I do my interviews on my page, and I can see very familiar faces here. Hi, Graham. Hi, Ivan. I saw Rosa. I see, and of course, Irene. My mentor, Hazel. I saw Merly. And next in line, there are Di and David. So you guys are my saviors. Back in the day when I was thinking of doing interviews on my page, that was December, and it took me 6 months to start doing interviews really, because I was really putting this limitation on myself. And so what I can say is that we have to leverage the community. That was what I did. I leveraged the community and I asked for help. I reached out to our flock group in the Euro flock in our flock, right? So I asked there if someone was available to do interviews with me, and that was what I did. And all those people just kept flooding in, and you actually are all my saviors, because without all those interviewees, I wouldn't be this confident. Oh my God. Before, you wouldn't even see me on my personal Facebook on video. You'll see my kids, you'll see, once in a while you'll see my pictures, but I was so shy before the online business. But we have to work on our limitations, and one of my limitations was that doing videos and talking on camera. So that was what I did. I worked on my limitation. That when I started, I told myself, since when? Why did I put that limitation on myself? I can do it. That was what I discovered. And then, what else can I say? When you do, I don't know if you do your vision boards. I don't, but I set target dates. When I hit my before hitting 3A, I said that I will be hitting it on my birthday, and that was September 20. And I actually hit 3A 6 days before my target date. And then I did the same thing with my 4A. I said that I would be hitting 4A on my father's birthday, which is 2 months after that, which is November 20. And I actually hit it 5 days before my target. And that really works, because when you set a date and I sign it too. I put the date and I sign it, because that for me is a contract with myself that I have to do that and I have to deliver. And for me, it's working. And what else can I say? Oh, remember your why. Every day, remember why you started the business and why you are doing what you are doing. And then show up for your business every day. Stay plugged in, and you have to know the training side like the palm of your hand. Because what I actually like to do is to treat my team members, my downlines, my distributors, as my kids. I don't spoon feed them. I try to always direct them to the training site when they have problems, because I don't want to rob them with the golden opportunity to learn something for themselves, because that is, for me, the best way to be a great mentor. Looking things up for yourself first before asking help. And then don't cling to buyers or everybody else's buyers for that matter, because I don't know if I can sell this, but in August, when I really had my business when it started doing great, I actually had a buyer from another country, not from Europe, from another continent. And I actually told, I was not her first opt-in, but she did, she made another email address and made another registration so that she can be on my team, on my group. But it is not what the Dream Team is standing for. And so what I did is I gave it back. She's not here. She won't be seeing this. So I didn't tell her, but I messaged the announcer and I said, look, this is her real mentor. This is her email. These are the emails that she used, and she did another email to be on my team. And because I didn't want to hold on to that for, and then it would I would be robbing another business partner with a buyer. And so when I did that, it paid off, because that month I had 7 buyers, and 3 of those buyers converted to distributors. And so what I discovered on that moment was, you really have to practice your integrity and don't look at other people's buyers. Just like what Ivan said, it doesn't matter if you are not having buyers every week, just like the others. It doesn't mean that they will convert, right? They might refund, or the few buyers that you have are actually quality buyers. We don't know that, and it will pay off. It will pay off. You have to, kind of lost my thought about that, because okay, and yeah, I'm actually still shaking now, because 1 minute before 8, 1 minute before starting this mastermind, I had an email confirming my coach's funnel. So kind of all over the place. I'm so sorry, but I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody. If not for the dream team, I wouldn't be this confident. I wouldn't be this. I'm more happy now. I didn't know that gratefulness would do such amazing things to people, and it's like I also enjoy the business with my whole family. Whenever I learn something great, I try to share it with my kids first and foremost, and they've been with me from the start, and they saw the change. And yeah, that's all for me for today.
Rhoda, absolutely amazing. Everybody's saying congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for jumping on this evening. You're amazing. Can I just ask, because I know everybody likes to ask this question, how much, when you first started, were you spending on your ad budget? And you said you had a few struggles, like your ads got disapproved.
Yeah. I had disapproved ads in the beginning. I had I guess 4 or 5 ads that were disapproved, and I started with €5 a day, and I built my 4A. I built my 4A with not more than €12.
Fantastic.
I have an ad running now, which is running at 8 a day.
Where have I gone?
I can still hear you, but you're kind of frozen.
I have no idea what's going on this end. It was fine before, but brilliant. Thank you so much, Rhoda. You're an absolute superstar.
Thank you, Irene. Thank you all.
My face is freezing a bit, isn't it? But at least yours hasn't, which is awesome. So huge congratulations. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And I think, everybody, that is a wrap. That is a wrap. I believe that we have had the most incredible mastermind this evening. There's been so many awesome people on. It's frozen on a smile, Irene. Yay! Okay. So is there any more questions? I'm just hoping that at least if I'm frozen, at least everyone can still hear you. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, brilliant. Guys, what an awesome evening. Fantastic. We'll arrange one for in the new year. Don't forget, as Diane David said, there's a meeting in London on Saturday. Ivan, when's next Manchester one? I've unmuted you, Ivan.
The 4th of January. Right in the city centre.
4th of January.
No one's not getting any. Christmas is over. Christmas will be old news by then, right?
Yeah.
Have a coffee and recover from the New Year hangover. Let's have a chat.
Brilliant. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. This is recorded once I've got it uploaded on.
Okay, see you later.
I will post it in the floor. Have a Christmas.